JRE 948. Eddie Bravo suggests governments may be hiding the biggest secret of all, and it might be connected to what's really out there beyond Earth.
Is that what the fuck is going on with? I don't know. I don't know.
What, you think there's a conspiracy in the conspiracy?
I think maybe.
Is this a double negative? This is fucking double cross?
They're testing missiles?
Did you see that shit?
Yeah, did you see that?
Is it for real?
It
Have
blew
you
up.
seen the parade? Show the clip of the parade
Yeah.
where they show them, like the soldiers marching in a
stepping.
parade, and then
They're flexing on us.
and then they're bringing out the missiles.
They said they're
They'll
ready to
show
go to
that.
war.
Okay.
They'll show that, and then they'll cut to Kim Jong Un,
Yeah.
right, with
Totally
his
different
generals. Like there's a clip of like they're like. And they're like kind of watching, and and then they cut back to the parade, and it's the same clip, and then they go back to Kim Jong. It just, I don't know.
You think North Korea's fake?
I'm not saying it's fake. I'm just saying
don't
that
believe in North
I'm not
Korea?
saying that it's fake. I'm just saying that
heard-
Kim Jong Un could eat.
I think
He
it's
might
all
be
hemp.
part of. I think they're all buddies. I think at the very top, the top of Russia, the top of the United States, the UK, they're just putting on a show, and he's designated villain when we need to distract people from this or that. Fucking Kim Jong Un
But he's killed a lot of people.
testing missiles.
Did you oh, wow.
He's testing missiles. He's gonna fire off one
But
in
Eddie,
China.
there's a lot of people there. I don't know how many thousand that is, but there's a lot of people there.
They put on shows for people coming in. You come in, they're going to put a show on for you.
But not
everywhere
like
you
this.
go,
Right.
they're putting on. So there's actors everywhere already. This is just a lot of them.
I mean, they
Hey,
did it over
listen,
a period
he's probably
of a couple
legit.
days.
He's probably legit, but we've been lied to so much.
But Eddie, what
I
are you
wouldn't doubt
talking
it.
about? Like, what's a lie? All these people are actors, and they just live there. They're all
I don't
actors.
know.
They love this
But
shit.
think of how crazy that is. Wouldn't it be more likely that these poor people are just brainwashed? Because we know people get brainwashed. Wouldn't it
You
be
know,
more
you ba-
likely
you
that
ba-
this
well,
is
you
like the
base-
craziest?
When you take into consideration all the lies that we've been told, the faked moon missions, all this shit, nothing. I mean, this is nothing. They put together a bunch of people and made a fucking parade.
But-
they faked the moon mission 6 times. And
what-
everybody believes that shit.
But cult
I'm
of
not
the
saying
Moonies.
I'm not saying they're actors. I'm just saying there's something fishy about the whole North Korea thing.
Of course it's
I'm not
fishy.
saying that it could be anything. I'm just saying I don't know. I'm saying it smells fishy. Something is not right about what they're telling us about North Korea.
It is a crazy little machine.
It's a big ass bomb. You not buying that shit, Eddie? It only killed 90
But
people.
Eddie,
It looks
why
like an
do you-
explosion. It
It's
looks
a
like an
giant-
explosion.
That's a bomb.
giant
That's
That
what
looked like an
bombs
explosion
do.
to me.
But
That's
that's what
what it
bombs
is.
do, though.
But that's all it
a
is.
bomb went off. That's what we saw.
No, it's the biggest bomb that ever has been dropped
Okay.
in war outside of a nuclear bomb.
All right.
Well, you don't believe that?
Non-nuclear bomb.
I don't believe
But why do you-
shit
but why
they're
do
saying.
you
I'm
automatically
crazy.
assume-
I'm
I know.
crazy.
I
This is how
know.
crazy I am.
Tell me.
I watched this and I think this is. I'm trying to figure out what's the angle. Why are they showing us this? That's what I'm thinking. That's how crazy I am. I'm fucking so deep
You don't
down.
believe anything.
When it comes to military shit that's blasted on the History Channel or CNN, I'm automatically what's their angle. I don't buy
Okay,
it.
let me ask you
You
this.
need to have a conversation
I'm
with Tim
crazy.
Kennedy. You need to
I'm
talk to Tim
crazy.
Kennedy.
Dinosaurs.
I'm crazy.
Dinosaurs, real or not?
I don't trust that shit.
You don't
believe
trust
in
T-Rex?
dinosaurs?
I love that Triceratops because everybody loves when the Triceratops fights the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Everybody's rooting for the Triceratops.
Right.
If you're rooting for the Tyrannosaurus Rex in that epic battle,
You're an
you're a
asshole.
douchebag.
Right, you're right.
So you
I agree
dig
with
those.
you.
Like, what about woolly mammoth?
I would say yes.
Oh, yeah. We have one. Good point. God damn.
Yeah, it's a fucking elephant. You know what I mean? It's a fucking elephant.
they have
You know what a
fossilized
Tyrannosaurus Rex
ones.
is?
No, they
figured out
have a new one where they're going to bring it back.
Yeah.
Tyrannosaurus
The
Rex is
Yeah.
a giant kangaroo. That's what it is. That's my guess. Look at it. It looks exactly the same. It's got a tail, hops around on 2 legs. That's a fucking. They found a giant kangaroo, and when they figured it out, they go, "Dude, it's a kangaroo." They're like,
With
"Shut the
scales.
fuck up." What was that?
What about like the way the Earth is, like the layers, and you can tell with certain time periods from the layers
the
of Earth?
stratus.
A lot.
Yes.
Well, if you're talking about carbon dating, there's a lot of science that goes back and forth. Like it ain't shit, or it's real, or it's not
no,
legit.
this
No,
is
most
pretty
cases
much
it is.
universally acknowledged that carbon dating's effective.
Okay, well, not the stuff that I'm looking into. I don't know.
Why don't you have a show on the Alex Jones channel? What has happened?
I agree.
You
what
went
the
there.
fuck?
You went there.
I went
you
a
met
total
with him?
retard on him. I went full flat Earth on him.
Even he doesn't believe in flat Earth.
No. Most conspiracy theorists, do not. They think flat Earth is the most retarded thing ever. When Joe first brought it up, like about a year and a half ago, he said, "Dude, he was trying to." Basically say how stupid people are. He said, do you know people still believe the earth is flat and the sun is 3,000 miles away? And I remember sitting there thinking, shit, what are they, Amish or something? Like, how dumb do you have to be to think the world is flat?
Videos later.
How dumb?
Yeah,
no. And then you brought it up again. And then you brought it up again. You brought it up again, like maybe 6 months later, and I said on your podcast, I said, that is so dumb. That's got to be some kind of CIA psyop. I was trying to debunk it. I was Mr. Debunker.
Eddie, there's a fucking Japanese satellite that takes a photo from 22,000
miles
out. Those are the
worst
every 10
pictures
minutes.
ever. Come on,
Oh,
those
really?
Japanese
It doesn't
pictures.
show
Pull up
that
those
it's
pictures.
flat, though, even if the pixel
Young
is all
Jamie,
fucked
pull
up.
up those pictures. It does
Those
not the worst
Japanese-
pictures.
put up those
Eddie,
Japanese pictures.
It's from 22,000 miles away.
I can't believe you believe those pictures.
Do you remember when you had a flip
pictures,
phone?
man. I can't
You remember when
believe
you had a
that.
flip phone, dude? There's a
CGI
picture.
composites.
So constantly making CGI in some sort
Constantly.
of a computer
Constantly.
bank somewhere.
Yes. Show me a real
But
picture.
listen, NASA
Find
does
it.
not have one of those satellites.
Fake.
Why do you think that's fake?
That's
That's
legit
fake as
picture.
fuck.
Why does it look fake
It
as
looks
fuck?
like something you would see in a movie.
That's because when they do it in a movie, they try to make it look like this, which is what
man.
looks real.
If that's real to you, man, shit.
You don't think it's real? Why would it be fake?
propaganda, man?
Okay,
Why
so
would they care that it's not
is there a
flat?
photo of this flat Earth?
No, I don't. Like I just said again.
That's what I asked.
Is there a photo of
there's
this-
no photo of the flat Earth from space. There's no photo of the round Earth from
That's
space.
not true. That's not
the
true.
truth. It's all
No,
fake.
those. Why do you say they're fake though?
There's-
What
they
evidence?
look fake. They look CGI.
But you're not an expert in imagery.
Looks fake to me.
you
What
would convince you, though?
When I
Hold on a
watch
second.
Avatar,
When
I
you
don't need to be an
watch-
expert to know it's
you went
fake.
to the
When I watch
movies, Eddie.
Avatar, I'm not an expert. It's fake.
Avatar's at the movies. Why do you always go towards the conspiracy? Why do you never consider the possibility
Too many
that maybe?
lies.
But
Too
Eddie, they're
many
not
lies.
the same people.
It's all the same.
So everybody's
It's
lying?
a global thing. Yes, all the European space agencies lying.
They're all
all
in
in
on
on it. It's
That's-
a global thing.
So what do you think's going on up there?
I think all governments, most of them, the globalists, they're all working together to control their
What's the
people.
advantage, though,
That
Eddie, if the
seems so
Earth isn't
crazy.
round?
Yeah, I
What's
told
the
you, I'm
advantage?
crazy. I'm
I know, but what's
crazy.
the advantage that it's not round?
Then if
They control you, bro. With
They
the
just
ice
want to
wall.
fuck with us?
keep you on a there's I don't know, man. I don't know what it is.
Doesn't make sense.
Look
Why wouldn't
into
they
it. Look
make
into
control?
it.
sense. Why-
They could just control
why
people
You
just
gotta
as
find
easily
out
on
and
a
find the
ball.
sense. You could find the sense.
No, the real
it's really
problem would
easy. You
be-
put them on a ball because, again, I'm crazy. You put them on a ball. My guess is you're on a ball. You're nowhere. Don't try to go anywhere. Just stay there and work.
Oh, hell no.
I don't think you're thinking correctly.
I'm telling. I know. That's why I've stated many times
that you're crazy. But
I'm
here's the
losing
problem.
my mind.
When when do you think you started losing it?
I think I was, as soon as I found out when I was 11 that everybody wasn't Catholic.
That was it.
That's when I started losing my mind. I'm
That's
like,
what
wait a
did it?
minute. I'm like, everybody's not Catholic? I thought everybody was Catholic. There's other religions? Then how do we know we're right? There's a bunch. What's a Jew? Oh, shit, there's more Jews than Catholics? How do we know we have the right religion? I'm like, okay.
You start
then
questioning
right there,
it.
yes. That's when I started going crazy.
That's so funny. There's a bunch of different factions that you call the government.
I agree.
And the idea that it's
I agree
all
with
like
you.
the government can't be trusted.
I just say that because I'm not going to. I mean, you want me to pick out some agencies? Yeah, NASA. I could pick out some NIST. But just in general, it's history, science, education, energy. Everything has always been controlled by the government since day one. Radio has been used as propaganda since the day it was invented. You think some independent dude just invented radio and then he started broadcasting like his favorite music and shit and his thoughts? No, it was the government from day one in radio. It was the government in all countries from day one in TV, in the movies. It was all radio, TV, and the movies
Do you remember?
have always been about propaganda. Always in every country. It's nothing new. There was a war on drugs. We started a war on drugs. Turns out we're bringing it in. Then there's a war on terrorism. Turns out we created Al Qaeda. You understand why I'm crazy? I'm crazy because of that shit. I'm like, you could believe that shit. You want to believe that
Okay,
shit?
but the
Good luck,
problem
but I
is
ain't.
that you just apply this to everything.
Basically, anything
Even
coming from the
dinosaurs.
government. Anything
But
coming from the
The
government.
dinosaurs don't come from the government.
Just there's so much fraud when you look into
Astronomy
it. I'm like, I don't
doesn't
trust
come from the
shit.
government. It comes from scientists.
Look into it. Look into it, man.
But Eddie, I have looked into it. Look,
Dinosaurs
these are, all
are for kids.
Look, this is you could go over these different
That looks
sections
so fake.
of the Earth.
That looks
yeah,
so
well, you can
fake.
look at the next one that comes 10 minutes later. Maybe you won't think that one's fake. Like, oh wow, that one's kind of
It
real.
looks all fake. If you look into the experiments to prove that the Earth is spinning, all of them failed. Look into it.
What do you
Einstein said to this day,
Oh.
Einstein said it.
Don't
There is
bring
no
him into
proof
this.
that we're moving.
Most famous failed experiment.
That's the
What is this?
Michelson-Morley experiment. It was they couldn't recreate it.
So this thing that you keep repeating is bullshit.
Okay.
And this thing that you keep, but don't, no.
Hey,
'cause
where
you're-
did you get this information?
Jamie?
Where'd you get it?
Where'd I get what?
This information. Where is this coming from?
This is coming off the internet.
Exactly.
The American-
So
the
you're
American
reading
Journal-
some information. I'm reading some information
Slow
off
down,
off the internet.
slow
You
down.
didn't go to the
Slow down,
library.
slow
It's on
down.
Wikipedia.
Eddie,
Just slow down.
Eddie, stop
There's
doing that.
sources here. There's a book called the American Journal of Science. I'm sure that a lot
Which
of people
is
respect
which is
that.
bought and paid for.
Well, maybe.
It is. It's
But
bought and paid
why?
for it. It's
But
part of that.
here's the thing, Eddie.
It's like
why?
the Washington Post.
Eddie,
Oh, you just
you
haven't
think
looked
the Earth
into
is
it.
flat?
I didn't say that. I said I don't know if it's flat or round. When I see a picture of Earth from space, what we're sitting on from space, when I see a real picture, then we'll have the proof. I'm just saying we don't even have proof that it's real.
No, we're.
Okay, now find the CGI
do you ever,
NASA
Eddie,
artist.
do
I
you
would love
buy
to
into
see that
anything?
video.
Do you believe anything?
I believe shit that I could prove for myself. Like I believe the science in like a skyscraper.
You
Why?
believe
Because I
that's
see the
Sully?
skyscraper. It's standing there. That's truth.
Right, but how much?
I believe in that
How much
science.
have you looked into like the science of space travel? How much have you looked into how much work was done to try to put satellites into orbit?
So you think we went to the moon?
That's not what I asked you. I said, how much did you look
you
into
think we
that?
went to the moon?
Eddie, answer my fucking
come you don't
question.
answer my
you talk
question?
ridiculous.
So
because
you're
you
trying to
talk in
act-
circles.
Okay,
You're
all right.
talking in circles.
I am?
They're ridiculous conversations. Everything
Really?
is the government, the government, the government. The government's fake.
Fake pictures. Watch,
I'm just asking you a question.
Punch up NASA CGI artist picture of Earth. I don't see that up there.
Okay. So where's the? Let's get to some Photoshop
You got to
shit.
find the one where he's talking.
Okay, but this guy's talking about science here. Like some of the science has to be real, right, Eddie? Like there has to be some satellites, like DirecTV. DirecTV's not fake, right?
I don't know. I don't know, but you could do all that with landline stuff. You don't need to go bounce anything from space. You could do
But
all
why
that with
wouldn't-
landline.
Why wouldn't you? You could just put it in space and it just broadcasts and you shoot it up there and shoot it back. Why would you lie about that? I mean, there's a ton of fucking space junk.
Satellite's easy. Satellite's easy.
boring.
But
Every time
satellites- satellites
you know
are
who
fake?
pays for satellites? You know who pays for satellites? The taxpayer. They get bills. We need a new telecommunications satellite. We got to
Okay.
throw it up there.
So you don't
we need
think-
$35 million.
You don't think
and they go,
satellites-
yeah, okay, we're going to sign it. They get the money.
God.
It's a tax scam.
You don't think satellites are real?
I don't think so. Dude, that was
You don't think
the moon
there's some
landings were
legit?
so gigantic and so global and the greatest achievement
beat
of
Russia.
mankind, and they don't even have the records anymore. Joe, you know what I'm talking about. We were talking about this earlier, man. You were talking about this earlier. You know all that moon. You know, and-
Telemetry data is missing.
yeah. So
All
you know what the head of
original
NASA on
videos.
video says? He says, "Yeah, we don't have it. It's missing, or maybe it's stolen. But even if we did, the head of NASA, even if we did have the tapes." We don't have the machines to play them anymore, so it really doesn't matter. Come on, man. Come on, man. The dumbest retard detective on the planet would be suspicious.
Maybe they did fake that, but you can't just lump. And I'm not even
Exactly.
saying they did.
That's the
do
greatest achievement of
Yeah, but you-
mankind.
it's
That. But at
still-
the time,
And
there's
it's
a reason
okay.
to
You know
do
what?
it. But
we
at
got
the time,
new
there's
people.
a reason to do
we got
it.
new people now. Come on, man. That's hilarious.
So you're saying
guys.
all of them
how
are
am I-
bad?
How can you see how I can't trust shit from NASA?
But it's
they
not that
fake
you-
sick,
but do you
so I
understand
should
that it's
trust
not
them
that you
because
can't
one
trust
because
shit?
maybe they you know all those bad people have died and they're all old, and the new NASA they're the good NASA.
They can't all
You're gonna
be
believe
bad.
that? I'm just having fun.
What do you think? Is the Earth flat or round?
I don't know if it's flat around until we see a picture from space. That
You're
isn't
saying
fake.
this bitch could be square.
I don't know what
So
it
how-
is.
you-
It could be
squared
round. It could be
What
way.
is
It
this?
could be
squared.
round, but
iPhone
way
HD
bigger.
camera.
with fisheye lens. You guys are fooled by the fisheye lens. Come on, man. Come on.
So
There's
it's
plenty of
fake?
pictures without the fisheye lens that you could find. This fisheye lens, you guys
But
are
do you
getting
understand
fooled by some
perspective?
basic ass kindergarten.
Do you understand
fisheye lens.
perspective?
It's lighter because we're in the atmosphere of Earth.
Isn't it less dense though?
If we were in space, there is no atmosphere. That's why everything floats. Gases and us. We're dense too, but we would float in space just like gas.
If you do float in
If we got
space.
into space,
If
you're
you
correct.
believe
If we
that.
got out there.
If
So
you believe that.
can we not go to space?
I don't know how far we can go up. I
But
don't know.
Eddie, you know the space station.
not sure.
You said the space shuttle went into orbit.
I don't know how far it went
You
up.
say
It went
don't
up
know-
pretty
you
high.
say
I don't
don't
know
know how high,
I don't know
though.
where it
Okay,
went.
but you know-
I knew it. I know it took off. Saw
Right.
that.
Okay.
And then I see it landing. You see that?
Right. You know
I don't
it
know
went-
where it went.
You know, it went way
don't
higher
know
than a
where.
plane, right?
For sure.
I worry about you, Eddie. I really do.
You don't need to, man. I'm fucking better than ever.
I know
dude. You
you're
have
doing
no
great,
idea.
but I worry about you going down these rabbit holes of
Hey,
thought.
what's the big deal? Who cares if the Earth is round or flat? It's entertaining to me.
I understand.
That's all. What's the
think
big
you're-
deal?
I think you're very
Who
influential.
cares if if kids start looking into flat Earth? Good. Start questioning shit. If you look into it and you have proof that it is round, instead of going, oh, some scientist figured it out, somebody figured it out, but you figure it out. You try to figure it out.
Flying unicorns, bro. Your grandma's flying unicorns.
I haven't even told you the craziest shit.
Oh,
Oh,
you
shit.
certainly
No, I haven't
have.
even had
You
nothing to do with flat
certainly
Earth.
have,
You son of
I
a
haven't
bitch.
no
What's
crazier
the
than
craziest
flat.
shit?
Crazier
Why?
than flat
Can't
Earth?
tell- crazier
save
than
it?
flat Earth.
Why save it?
I don't
Come
want you
on,
guys
blow
to make
my
fun
mind,
of me.
Eddie.
You don't
I don't
want
want
us
you
to
to
make
make
fun
fun
of
of
you.
me.
Have
You
I
guys
made
already
Eddie-
making fun of me for flat Earth?
I've
Yeah,
never
but
made
I'm
fun of you.
trying. I just listen.
I just don't trust NASA.
I understand.
I don't
You're
trust
in the
NASA.
safe zone.
You're in the
I
circle of
understand
trust.
You want to hear
understand
some
that.
crazy shit?
Please.
You promise? Okay.
I'm scared.
Can we end on this?
Yeah, let's end.
Okay.
No,
We'll
I want to
talk
end
about
on the
it.
crazy.
Yeah,
I want to
we
end
can.
on crazy.
You sure?
For next time.
Yeah, just don't make it long.
Drop
Hey.
it now and we'll go into
Drop
it
it
next
and then
time.
cut
Yeah,
it.
you know, if you drop it now, we'll never make
No,
it out
drop
of here.
it, then cut it.
It's 6 o'clock.
I know. I just want to.
Oh
Drop it
shit!
and
Yeah,
cut
at 6
it.
o'clock.
Yeah, it's 6
yeah.
o'clock.
Give
We'll
my
save
son
it
a
for
bath.
next. Unless you want to hear it now. I don't know. It's too crazy. It's too crazy.
Let's go. Do it.
Let's go. Do
It's
it.
too crazy.
Okay.
It's
next
really,
time.
really crazy.
Let's talk. We'll talk off air about
It,
this.
it'll
Holy
discredit.
shit, my
Hey,
head
it's
hurts.
so crazy. It'll discredit the flat Earth theory.
My mind can't handle it, Eddie.
Everything is a conspiracy.
I left this one to
You
you
need a
guys.
T-shirt
Yeah.
that says everything is conspiracy. You make
Life is a
Alex
conspiracy.
Jones. You'll make Alex Jones look like fucking like Gandhi.
Fuck yeah.
Like
The guy-
Alex Jones is like 90% of the conspiracy theories. Like, well, that's all bullshit. You know.
Yeah.
But Eddie just
He's
fucking,
fully in.
You
You
would
gotta
have
appreciate the hustle by Eddie.
You'd have
Alex
the
Jones
ultimate
is like a blue belt
show.
conspiracy theorist.
You'd have the wow. I can't believe you said that. Let's end on.
JRE number 1251. Tim Dillon dives into decades of hidden intelligence programs and cover-ups, hinting the truth about what's beyond Earth may still be buried.
There was a recent one. People were saying that his son did it.
Yeah. My mother always believed that, but again,
That's a
schizophrenic.
weird conspiracy theory, though, right? Isn't
That's
that a weird
one I don't
one?
really get into.
Yeah.
I don't want. Yeah, those are the ones that are out there. I don't really get into that. I don't go near the moon. I don't go near. I'm not an OJ truther.
Are you a Gulf of Tonkin guy or Operation Northwoods?
Those are all true.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Those are all true.
Operation Northwoods is my favorite.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
They talked about bombing a ship
yeah.
with people on it.
They were going to blow up a drone jetliner and blame it on the Cubans.
Yeah.
They were going to attack Guantanamo Bay, arm Cuban friendlies, and have them attack Guantanamo Bay.
Crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, that was not that long ago.
I know. That's why we need you back.
God, I can't do it.
Well, you know what? I got mad.
Conspiracies are too fucking. It's too exhausting.
I got exhausting because I would do a show and then somebody would come up to me after the show and they'd be like, they'd show me a pizza menu. I swear to God. And they go, you see that? And I go, no, well, what is it? They go, that's the NAMBLA symbol. And I'm like, it says garlic knots. And they're like, you got. No, they're like, you got to really look at it. Oh, and I'm like, all right, I can't go the rest of my life with that.
Well, they look for it in everything. Everything's a conspiracy. And then
Yeah.
when it comes back to you and they say, "Oh, Tim is involved in this,"
Right.
Like, and then you go, "Oh, I see how this works." People
Yeah.
just make shit up,
Yeah.
and then they believe it.
Yeah, the CIA is now getting involved in podcasting.
Yes,
With you
they're-
guys. You're their first show, but they're going to get a few others on.
They're deeply involved in stand-up.
started a
sort of
network.
like the Russian trolls. That's what they're
Deeply
doing.
involved. I love the idea of the CIA going and watching sets and be like, who's getting passed at the store?
Oh, you don't know. I have a friend of mine who thinks that the CIA started Jim Morrison and Jimi Hendrix.
There's a book about that called Weird Scenes Inside the Canyon, written by a guy named Dave McGowan.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you right now, Joe, it's kind of interesting. I'm going to tell you, it's kind of interesting. There was a lot of cult shit going on in Laurel Canyon.
I'm sure, probably about pussy.
There was a lot of weird shit going on. The CIA, the Rand Corp was all over there. There was a lot of shit happening.
Well, I'm sure there was a lot of shit happening, but there is not a fucking intelligence agency in the world that can create a Jimi Hendrix.
No, of course. And they're not
You
sitting
know?
there. That book was like that they were managing the birds.
Yeah.
The CIA was like, they were like, no, it's Mr. Tambourine. It was like a CIA guy going to be like, it's Tambourine Man. Yeah. Play a song for me.
Imagine being in that time in the country when everything was just falling apart left and right around us. Vietnam War, Kent State, just fucking Nixon's the president.
Yeah.
It's just chaos left
Yeah.
and right. There's
Yeah.
no internet.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing drugs. It must have been wild.
It must have been amazing.
I mean, I always think about that Hunter S. Thompson quote about, like we talked about the 60s and that in the 70s, it was almost like the wave crested and then just pulled
It's crashed
back.
out from Fear and Loathing in Las
Yes,
Vegas.
yeah.
But I'm a Kennedy guy. I think there's something really shady with that.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
And in that book, there's some amazing stuff about
Now,
that.
this book that you gave me is Family of Secrets.
It's a guy, Russ Baker, who's a legit journalist, and it's been praised by like Dan Rather and Bill
trying to
Moyers.
drag me in, bro.
I'm trying to get you in. Let me tell you right now, this will get you in. It'll get you in.
I don't have that kind of time for
George
this.
H. Did you know that George H.W. Bush called the FBI and said that he thought he knew who the killer of JFK was? Did you know that?
No. He
You didn't
called
know?
them?
He called the FBI in Houston.
Hey,
and he said,
what's up? It's George.
George Bush, I'm in Tyler, Texas, and I think I know who the killer is. And he informs on this guy, James Parrott, and James Parrott ended up being like one of his staffers. It was this weird cover story he kind of planted, and that came out in a memo. And there was another memo. These are declassified FBI memos, Freedom of Information Act. There was another memo that said, after the assassination, J. Edgar Hoover briefed George Bush of the CIA. The problem was George Bush should not have been working for the CIA at that point. He should have been just a private citizen. So it suggested he was working for the agency for a very long time. And he was made the director of the agency for 1 year after the family jewels came out, which was this whole thing where the CIA went to Congress and they admitted that they had done all these things from, coups and fomenting revolutions in countries. And they made him the director for 1 year after that happened to make a clean break from all of the nefarious activities that the agency had been involved with. But if you take that memo to mean that he had an existing relationship with them, he was actually just becoming because it made no sense to anyone. They were like, why is this guy that everyone called a lightweight becoming the head of the CIA after the CIA just admitted to all these horrible things?
They called him a lightweight?
Yeah, he was like, I think Kissinger had said to Nixon, like, he's a lightweight. They made him ambassador to China. He was never a guy that had serious political capital, and he was made the head of the CIA. And then after that memo was unearthed, people were saying, this was an extension of the cover-up. He was being made the director at this very interesting time in history because he actually had worked with the agency forever, and he was not at all a lightweight. He was a serious operator, and he was going in there to kind of clean up and transition them into a new era. I'm telling you.
I'm already out.
You're
already
out?
Done. Yeah.
How are you out?
I can't listen to that.
It's good. It's great, though.
I need current shit.
I know, but this
I need
is
some like Julian Assange. I need something right. I need some Edward Snowden.
I know the Bushes are done. All right,
Can't do the Bush anymore.
I'll get an
It's
Assange
not
book.
enough.
I'll get an Assange book.
I can't get in there.
Listen, I'm telling you,
the Clintons.
if you
I'll dabble in the Clintons.
if you read a chapter of this,
yeah.
if you read a chapter of this,
You give me a cookie.
I don't have a cookie, and if I do, I'm taking it. But you'll be. It's very interesting, and it's a well-written book because it's not reckless and sloppy.
I'll read the first chapter. I promise.
Thank you.
I will. Yeah.
I
Listen, a buddy of mine gave me David Lifton's Best Evidence on the Kennedy assassination.
Okay.
And that got me into conspiracy theories. This is like 92.
And I get it. You're at the end of the road now where you're like, this is
Done,
because a lot
tired.
of people are full of shit in that world.
A lot.
A lot of them. And that's what people don't realize.
Well, then it gets deeper and deeper and deeper and more preposterous. Have you ever Googled hashtag space is fake?
No, but that sounds amazing.
There is a thriving space is fake community.
Have you ever been in space?
No, good point. Could be fake.
Come
Prove
back.
it.
Come back to us, Joe.
Prove it, bro.
No, what is space? Come back to us.
Well, it's an extension of flat Earth. It's like for people that think the flat Earth is not stupid enough.
Too conservative.
They go deeper. It's like it's not stupid enough.
Yeah, they
go
think
deeper.
for those flat Earth cucks, they want to move into space. They want to go to space is fake.
Yeah, you want to know what's really up.
Space is fake.
Space is fake. Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, I mean, I think there are hundreds of thousands of people that think that the Earth is flat. Hundreds of thousands. Educated, Western, American human beings that think the Earth is flat.
That is wild.
It is fucking crazy.
It's interesting.
It's a lot of people that just get educated from YouTube. The Guardian actually had an article about it. I sent it to Eddie, and Eddie laughed at me.
But see, I think Eddie's kind of rational in a lot of ways. Because I've had conspiracy talks with him.
About what?
About, the one that we had was insane a little.
Oh, he's got
about how
some insane
the
ones.
government was attacking Malibu.
Well, he's the one that
Him
came
and
up to me
Tripoli and
about
Sam were talking about that they were using direct energy weapons, and I was like, I don't know if this is
attacking Malibu with
That's
what?
I was like, why would they
Fires.
attack Malibu? Well, the
fires?
fires. Yeah. But I'm like, they're rich. Why would they attack Malibu? It's the rich people.
The fire started near my fucking house. They didn't even
Right.
start in Malibu. They
Right.
flew through the air. I was one of the first evacuated.
Right.
These
No.
fucking theories are so stupid. It's dry as shit.
Yeah.
A fire hits and
Right.
the winds are going crazy. Oh, did they make the wind? They made the
Well,
wind.
I'm sure
They've
you-
always made the wind. The wind has always been the CIA.
They've always made the wind.
Yeah, it's just, and there's no rest. There's no peace.
I know.
There's no living in the moment. It's
Do you
like
think
a
you get to a
constant distraction.
certain point, you go, I just don't even want to know. Because there's
Well-
horrible things going on. There's horrible things going on.
Okay. What do you think is like the worst shit going on right now?
Human trafficking is very
Yes.
bad. Horrible.
Horrible. And
Multi-billion-dollar industry. That's not Subway sandwich artists are paying for that.
real. Right.
Rich people, some of them are involved in some very bad things.
Yes.
And their tracks they're covering their own tracks.
Yeah, like that Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah,
guy.
all of that
I heard
stuff, dude.
That Clinton visited him. And he's got an island somewhere.
Anyone with an island. And hanging out with Bill Clinton.
Yeah.
If you have an island and you're hanging out with Bill Clinton,
Hey,
there's a problem.
where's the Matas?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a crazy. All of that stuff is very disturbing. And he got a sweetheart deal because he wouldn't inform on anyone that was on his plane. And now the Justice Department's looking at that again. It'll probably be fine. They'll probably just let him.
With a guy like that, like, what? I mean, how much does he know? How does a guy
knows
like that
everything.
stay alive?
Because it's good. He's not going to say anything. He's not going to talk.
I wouldn't trust him.
If
I was on that plane.
I think that's the other thing about. See, the aversion to conspiracies is you go like, people would talk.
Mm-hmm.
The reality is people wouldn't talk. If you were from a prominent family, if it had been like a religion to stay silent, if you had had CIA training, these people don't talk. And we know that there have been plots that have gone unknown for a very long time, including the
for
coup
sure.
in Iran.
Sure.
So a guy like Jeffrey Epstein is so involved, so deep, he knows he'll get killed. He won't say anything.
Yeah.
He's not going to say anything.
Plus, he doesn't want to go to jail.
He doesn't want to go to jail, and he doesn't want to say anything.
Admit all the things that he did.
Yeah.
It's weird. The child thing is the creepiest of all.
It's
of
gross,
those.
and
It's the
unfortunately,
scariest.
it's a real thing.
Yeah.
So people you could talk about. There's the conspiratorial angles, the bullshit, but then there's the real fact.
Well, there's Sandusky.
Sandusky, Catholic Church,
100%.
That's the other
Catholic
problem.
Church,
The people that are
100%.
in love with conspiracies never care about private prisons,
Right.
or the Catholic Church. And I'm like,
Right.
guys, this is not even debatable.
Right.
We're not even debating.
Right.
Private prisons are ruined. Kids are being sold into slavery.
Right. How
It's
about
horrible.
that judge in Pennsylvania? That was
crazy.
taking underage kids and just giving them sentences, ridiculous sentences for shit.
That's crazy.
In exchange for money.
That's not right.
And now he's in jail. Yeah, it's there's some darkness in the world. It's
Yeah.
undeniable. And when something like Sandusky, when that Penn State thing comes out, and you're like, wait a minute, how long was this going on for?
Yeah, and how many people
everybody
knew? Everyone knew. How does everyone know?
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Paterno he died quick.
But this is what of course. But this
he
was
must have been just destroyed.
But this is what I mean about people, whereas like YouTube's gonna like censor conspiracy theory type stuff. I'm like, all of those things would have been called conspiracy theories at one point.
Yes.
Catholic Church,
Right.
Sandusky,
Yeah.
Abu Ghraib. They said it was a few
Sure.
bad apples. It was a labyrinth of torture prisons. It was a program designed by the Pentagon, the CIA. It's crazy.
What is the YouTube gonna do? They're gonna censor.
Well, they're going to stop
conspiracy?
recommending. I think they're going to stop recommending conspiracy videos, from what I've heard.
But I was reading that thing that you were telling me about, Jamie. This whole like porn or child porn or pedophile network.
They're setting up a
Communica-
what is this? A pedophile YouTube? What's going on? Wait.
communication network. They were communicating with each other in YouTube comments.
They responded yesterday and they said that they disabled comments on tens of millions of videos and deleted a lot of accounts that were they were communicating in the comment section of like little kids cheerleading and whatnot. Shit
Now,
like that.
were they communicating to try to share child porn, or were they communicating to molest kids?
I don't know in the way pedophiles communicate in their network, but
Well,
all I
Jamie,
read, they were
Jamie, quite
they were
frankly,
communicating.
I'd like you to do a little bit more
Yeah,
work.
pull up
Well,
an article.
Do some
on
due
it.
diligence on the pedophile.
I want
That's
you
like
to
when
go
you have to-
under the dark
I
web.
need a burner computer for that.
Download Tor and let's get moving
Throw
because
it
we
away.
got to figure shit out.
Yeah, you got to get a VPN. Are there?
Well, that's like the FBI will take over a child porn site on Tor and then run it for a year, like on the dark
what?
web. What is that?
What?
What's going on?
Imagine what they see too. You
It's
can't
but there's
unsee
got to
that
that's
shit.
that's a problem.
It is a problem
Some-
because
that's not
you're,
good.
You're causing.
That happened in that R. Kelly case. There's a video of him doing something with an underage girl, and like I think some people at CNN, it's like we've seen it, and that's led to him going. And it's like, well, what did you watch? And is that legal? It probably is legal because you're watching it under the guise of finding out if it's true.
Yeah.
So-
Rough.
Yeah, that kind of shit is real. And the fact that there's these networks of people that are trying to, cultivate these experiences.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But if you're a rich person, you have that sick predilection. You're gonna find a
Here's
way
just
to.
a brief thing of what they were doing, like a for example.
Okay, they posted remarks that praised the girls, asked whether they were wearing underwear or simply carried a string of sexually suggestive emojis. About 2 years ago, hundreds of companies pulled money from YouTube over concerns about ads showing up next to problematic content from terror or hate groups and videos that seem to endanger or exploit children. I think, we've talked about this before with YouTube, with the issues that we've had with them. They have way too much content and way too few people.
Right.
There's no way they can watch all of it. And when shit like this, or people are doing things in the comments, it's almost impossible to check.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, 'cause the YouTube comments are one of the rare free range sort of like unchecked message boards in the world.
I'm sure I'll find out later.
Fucking don't read it. Don't read it, bro.
Who's this fat fuck?
Don't
He's not even a black belt.
read
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Why is he here? Who is that?
Don't read it.
Yeah.
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 I wonder if there's ever going to be a time where that is impossible, where like these child pedophile rings, that they can figure out a way to snuff all that out. It's harder now than ever before, I imagine.
It's very tough, and it's tough, I think, because so few people want to believe that it's a problem in the way that it is.
Right.
Because there's good people in the world that don't think these things are issues.
Right.
So I think there's the political will isn't there because people aren't really, they don't understand that it's, and then the people that are doing these things are very wealthy, powerful people, and they have a lot of control, and they can kind of cover their tracks. If
They're all wealthy?
Not all.
wealthy and
If you're a
powerful?
poor pedophile, you're not going to a ring.
What are you doing?
You're snatching some kid.
Oof.
I know, it's bad. But if you're a rich pedophile, it's a nicer experience. It's like you go on vacation versus me going on vacation. You go on vacation, it's a nice experience. I go on vacation, it's fine.
Sandals in the Bahamas.
Not even.
No?
Sandals.
Where you going?
A cabin or something.
JRE 1821. A mind-bending idea suggests aliens may not be extraterrestrial at all, but humans returning from a distant future timeline.
It's crazy. Have you seen that new movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once?
No, but I keep hearing amazing things about it.
Yeah, we just saw it this past
Did you go to the movie theater?
weekend. Yeah.
Look at you, like a regular person.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
How was it? Tell me what
It's
It's a multiverse kind of movie,
it's
right?
like that. She ends up figuring out how to switch into her different lives and like take different times, different lives that she's lived throughout all of time.
Wait, what the
and
fuck?
fast forward and rewind and use these things to her advantage and try to accomplish things. It's crazy.
Oh, I love time travel.
Yeah, it's wild.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. That was the theory that Terrence McKenna had too. The thing that's going to change the universe is that one day someone's going to invent a time machine, and that when they invent a time machine, all time ceases to become linear. So you think if you have a time machine, well, I'll just go back to the time where they were making the pyramids and I watch them do it. That's not what it works like. What he was saying, you can't travel where there are no roads. So once a road gets built, then you can travel. So once a time machine gets invented, then anyone from the invention of the time machine forward to forever can come back to that moment and can go to any point in time from that moment to the end of time. So all time ceases to be linear. So there's no like tomorrow will be Wednesday and the next day will be Thursday. No. It's everything happens everywhere all at once. So people can travel back and forth through time. You can never own anything because someone could just travel through time and take it away from you when you weren't looking. Like as time travel gets more and more sophisticated, you can go back and forth in time while you're talking to people. You know, if you don't like what you said, you could rewind and start all over again. If you're in an argument with your wife, you can go to the library and get information and come back and go, actually, you know, Herodotus once said, and then bam, your wife thinks you're the smartest guy in the world. Like this, but there would be no normal life anymore. It would the world itself would be completely unrecognizable because time would mean nothing. You'd be able to travel back and forth through time.
All right, so then where would you go right now? Just if I could do, we can time travel right now, go back in
the past.
In the past.
Well,
what's one thing you'd like to see again?
See, that would be a different kind of time travel. That's an unrealistic theatrical version of time travel because, like you said, once time is invented, once time travel is invented, that's the time you can start traveling. So you can't
go before that.
Right.
Okay.
So like here we are, it's May of 2022. If time travel is invented in June, we're not going back to April. You can't go back to April.
Okay.
But you can go from June to a million years in the future and see what people look like. You'll be able to do that. But they'll be able to come back too, and everything's going to be happening everywhere all at once. There's not going to be any sort of structure to life. There's not going to be anything in terms of money, possessions. As long as you could freely time travel, there will be no time. Everything's going to be moving around, and also instantaneously you'll become immortal. Because whatever we have right now in terms of technology, what we're going to have in a million years is going to be godlike. And you're going to be able to travel to that if in fact that actually does even take place. Because the question becomes like, what is the future if time travel does exist? So if time travel exists in June of 2022, is there even a future? Like, does it even take place? Because how can anybody invent things when they can just travel to a point where someone invented it already? But how are they going to invent it already if you can just travel to the future? And do they invent things still? Or do people, if they do invent things, what's to stop people from going back before them and taking the idea and introducing it before that? Thus, there'll be no intellectual property because there'll be no way to say you came up with it first. It won't exist.
Carlos Mencia will be the greatest comedian in the world. Just smashing.
Wow.
Think about that.
Is there someone working on time machines right now? There's got to be, right?
Well, there's a guy named Ronald Millett. I think he's out of the University of Connecticut, if you Google this. And he's got the craziest Spider-Man character origin story. His father died. And he became obsessed with time travel because he wanted to go back in time and save his father. So he became a professor studying time travel. And he came up with a workable model of a time machine. But it requires immense, immense power. That's him. Ron Millett built a device that illustrates the principles he believes could be used to build a time machine. But he was one of the people that came up with one of the first people to come up with the realization or the revelation that once that time machine was invented,
his dad died in
from
Vietnam.
then, yeah. But it is really like a comic book superhero sort of origin story, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's a great origin story.
Yeah. So this guy has become obsessed and has been working on it for decades, and they think they have a working model of, like at least a theoretical model of a time machine, but it just requires like the power of the sun. It requires immense power. And I think there's a guy from, the early 19th century, Kurt Gödel. He wasn't from the early 19th century, early 20th century. And he had a working model of a time machine too, but it involved something as large as like the solar system. Like you needed a machine the size of a solar system or something crazy. Yeah. Kurt Gödel in 1949 found a solution to the field equations of general relativity which described a space-time with some unusual properties. This Gödel universe permitted closed time-like curves, hence a kind of time travel, and it did not admit decomposition into the successive moments of time. Yeah, so he had.
I didn't
so
understand any of that sentence. I mean, like I'm I'm like so stupid that if I start to realize what that means, it gives me a panic attack. Like as you talk about, there's no anything ever anywhere, or when you just mentioned the universe, and I realize there is something really up there. Like
like it's not just up there.
It's out there.
Yeah, it's all around you.
That I don't
for
like
infinity.
That fucking gives me a panic attack immediately.
Yeah, it'll give you a panic attack if you really do stop and give it time and think about it. It's an amazing thing.
Do you think that they'll be able to take, like, I don't know if we have to go to computer modeling, but take the data of, like, this video, for instance, where these kids are in 1901, and put that into, like, virtual reality where you could then insert yourself to be in there? You can't affect anything, but you could at least experience and hear what it's like.
Yeah, but you probably get an interpretation of it. Like, say if they wanted to do that today and they had this unbelievable ability to create people and images and places, and they decided to show you the construction of the pyramids, they would just be guessing.
JRE 928, strange inconsistencies in moon landing footage have fueled theories that humanity may not know the full story of space exploration.
I got a question for you, man.
Okay.
So, I've been a fan of you for a long time, right? So what?
Thank you.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it. What what made you make the switch from like being a moon landing denier to like
That's a good question.
Crazy if you don't.
No, I don't think we're crazy. No, this is my take on it. Absolutely. I don't know enough about astrophysics, about space travel, about the science that's, the work that's been done, about how to get a rocket to the moon and back. I definitely don't know enough.
It's rocket science.
And I've looked at a lot of very compelling documentaries that explain why they think it was hoaxed. And they'll show you some footage, and you can look at some of the footage, and it looks fake as fuck. There's some footage that, to me, looks really doctored. There's
to this day?
Yeah, to this day. There's some when you ever seen ones where it looks like they're on wires, like the astronauts are on wires?
I have.
There's some where there's a video where they look like they're on a trampoline. They're bouncing around on trampolines.
Mm-hmm.
The physics are different in different videos. This is where it gets weird. Like, the physics are different from the Apollo 11 moon landing. We see them waddle around on the surface of the moon. They're moving at like half speed. And then you see them in other ones, like the one where they bounce around the air. You're like, wow, they're moving different. They're in the same thing, but it looks different. The first one was very grainy. They showed it on a projection screen.
Right.
There's a couple different possibilities. One possibility is it just looks weird because it's on the moon, and your brain is trying to interpret it, and your brain's going, well, that's fake, because you don't really understand what 1/6 Earth's gravity really does to a body.
It is, yeah.
That's one possibility. Right. Another possibility, which has been shown to be true, is that some of the stuff that they passed off as being legitimate photographs of space travel was actually test runs where they blacked out the background and pretended that they were in space. And there's one really clear example of this. It's Michael Collins. Michael Collins, who was a guy who was aboard Apollo 11.
Right.
And Gemini 15. There's a photo of him in the middle of a, what is it when they walk around outside the spacewalk? They call it spacewalk? Yeah. Why does that seem like a bad word? It's like spacewalk. Like, if it doesn't seem like that's the official title. Well, he's in the middle of a spacewalk.
It's probably something more.
Yeah,
a little more syllables.
Yeah, something slicker. Anyway, so he's doing the spacewalk, and he's got this harness on. He's holding on to this like thing, and it was apparently just an image that had already been published of him in a training exercise, and they blacked out the background and flipped the picture upside down.
That's the joint right there.
It's the same exact photo. Same exact photo. I mean, people have lined it up and switched it over. It's the same photo. It's just been edited. So the one on the left was them practicing how to use these. I don't guess that the harness is some sort of a thing that he's hanging on to. I guess it moves him around a little bit.
Right.
They were trying to practice it on the left, and on the right, they just passed it off. But those are publicity photos, right?
Right.
So you got to go, well, okay, well, who approves of publicity photos? It could easily be just some idiot who works in, the publicity department who did marketing, who didn't think they had enough photos from the moon that were good of spacewalks. It's probably insanely difficult to take a spacewalk photo. Right. So, does that mean that they faked the moon landing? No, but it means that people fake things. So you got to be really objective and looking at that. Right. Okay, so people say fake things. They definitely filmed a lot of the training exercises that they did of the moon landing. Right. They filmed a lot of shit. They definitely did. If that has already been proven that they took this fake photograph and they tried to pass it off as a real spacewalk, it's entirely possible that some of the stuff that they filmed, they made out to look like they were on the moon when they were not. Right. But does that mean they didn't go to the moon? No, it doesn't. And so when I was saying it proves that they didn't go to the moon, my critique of myself is that I didn't look at it objectively because I wanted one conclusion to be true. And I wanted that conclusion to be that the moon landing was fake. So I looked at it and I was saying to myself, okay, did I come to this conclusion because there's a lot of evidence that shows it to be fake, or have I seen a lot of evidence that looks fake? And does that mean that they didn't go to the moon? Right. No, it doesn't. There's a bunch of different possibilities. There's a ton of different possibilities. There's also the possibility that whatever photographs they took can get severely damaged in the radiation of space, and that it was really difficult to do. Right. That's possible too, and that they decided somehow or another that they were going to pass off these, that they actually did go, and they decided they're going to pass off some of these fake videos. So there's a bunch of possibilities. The possibility that it looks fake because I'm dumb, and because I don't understand anything about the physics of 1/6 Earth's gravity, and it just looks weird because it's shitty film, it's 1969. That's possibility number one. Number two is they fake some things. Or number three is they didn't really have good footage because, like, you couldn't take film through the airport. Remember that? Yeah. Like, people would go through those radar detectors, and your film would get jacked, and they weren't responsible.
I didn't have any film, but I know
people that I have friends that are photographers, and my uncle's a photographer, and he would tell me you can't send the film. Like, if you have you take a roll of film and awesome pictures.
How would they get it through?
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they did. But I know that some film has been damaged. Or maybe it's an urban myth. Find out if film got damaged by those radar things at the airport. X-rays at the airport.
I could appreciate the mindset, though, of looking at your opinion objectively and saying, am I tripping? Let's look at the facts and say, I'm just not really sure. I think that's the problem with people today, and people period, is that they're afraid to say, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're super afraid.
It's like, to me, ignorance is such a gift. Like, it just gives you an opportunity to learn some shit if you're humble enough. Like, don't assume you know shit. Like, even the shit I feel like I know, I still feel like I don't know.
Yeah, well, that seems you have a very healthy ego for a big, young fucking super athlete.
It's fucking football, man. Like,
I know, but I'm saying your ego is very healthy. You have a really good way of looking at things. I think that's the right way to be, man. You can't be married to like ideas and opinions like that because they're not you, but we think that they are. They're like an extension of us. So we want to win these arguments, we want to be right. I think it gets real scary when you want to be right, and then you're willing to ignore evidence that might show that you're wrong. Right. And that's how I felt about myself. And by the way, if you wanted a conspiracy that's a good one, that seems like it might be possible, the moon landing is one of the best ones, and this is why it's so attractive. Between 1969 and 1973,
you still on the fence about this, huh?
No, I'm not at all. Okay. But I'm on the I don't know shit fence. That's where I live.
All right.
But between that
got a lot
time,
of facts on this side. I'm with you, though.
They sent, I think it was 7 missions. 6 of them were successful. The only one that wasn't successful was Apollo 13, right? They sent these fucking people around the moon, 250,000 plus miles out there and back. But ever since then, all they've been able to do is get people into near Earth orbit. Ever since then, like, the highest anyone's ever gone, I think, is 400 miles. So they went from 260,000 miles all the way to the moon and back to 400 miles. Everything is like inside. And they've never gone through the Van Allen radiation belts. They've never gone to deep space and returned. They haven't done that since 1973.
I thought, and I could be wrong, but I thought it was because of, like, funding.
Could be.
Like, because, you know,
meanwhile, LACMA's got funds. Show me how that makes sense. You don't want to fund space travel. You want to fund that fucking acrylic box.
Amber box. Great adjective, by the way. That's perfect.
It is a great one. I don't think that I know whether or not we went to the moon, but I'm telling you that if you wanted a juicy conspiracy to get excited about,
I've looked into it.
It's
man.
the best one to get excited about. They lost all the data.
I see, because like I see, like, you know, you go down the YouTube wormhole. You know, start watching Barry Sanders highlights, and then all of a sudden I'm looking at JFK being Michael Jackson or some shit. But like, I just don't see what the motive would be. Like, what is the fucking
The Cold War. First of all, we wanted to beat the Russians because we were in a race to see who can get to the moon. And here's one of the things that we do know for a fact: the Russians faked a bunch of shit. They faked a bunch of footage. Yeah, Yuri Gagarin, who was the first man in space, they had a video.
You might be an expert on this, man.
I studied this. I debated a guy who was a really nice guy, but Phil Plait, who's a bad astronomer, badastronomer.com.
Okay.
And he was a lot of things he wasn't willing to admit, though, that were unfortunate. Because maybe he could have convinced me more if he was. And one of the big ones was that Werner von Braun was a Nazi. They hired a bunch of Nazis to run the space program. It was called Operation Paperclip. And what Operation Paperclip was they took a bunch of Nazi scientists and relocated them to the United States. We lost some of them to Russia. Russia scooped up some of them. But when we ended the World War II and Nazi Germany collapsed, we went in and took the scientists. Well, Werner von Braun was the head of a rocket factory in Berlin, where they used to hang the 5 slowest Jews in front of the rocket factory for all the other workers to see. Werner von Braun, the Simon Wiesenthal Center said, if Werner von Braun was alive today, he'd be punished for crimes against humanity.
This is news to me.
No, Werner von Braun was a straight-up Nazi. And this guy was not willing to admit that.
Right.
You know, it's like, well, you know, just because someone's in Germany. No. No, he was a Nazi. He was a Nazi. Whether or not he actually killed anybody, maybe he had to be a Nazi. Right. I mean, we're not saying that, look, if you're fucked and you're in this neighborhood and that it overcomes the entire neighborhood, you want to keep your family alive, so you put that thing on your jacket sleeve, you put that swastika on, and you see Heil like everybody else. Maybe you're not really a Nazi ideologically. Maybe you're not a Nazi in your heart. Maybe you're just trying to stay alive. That's entirely possible too. But he was a Nazi. He was a fucking Nazi. And they had slaves that were running rocket factories in Berlin where they were figuring out how to make rockets.
That's brand new. I need to.
Yeah. Operation Paperclip. Cold War, President Truman authorized Operation Paperclip in August of 1945. The U.S. Army secretly admitted 88 German scientists and engineers to help in development of rocket technology, including Werner von Braun, Arthur Rudolph, and Hubertus Strugold. Hubertus. That's a great name.
It's not a great name, bro.
Bring that back. Hubertus. If you have a fucking stud kid who's like one of the strongest men in the world, his name is Hubertus.
He's named after
that's
a
my
Nazi.
son, Hubertus.
Fuck that.
Oh, that's true. That's true. He's named after a Nazi. So there was like something in the debate that guy was not willing to admit, which made me even more skeptical that he was right about the other stuff. The other thing was that they, like, moon rocks that they've collected from the moon have turned out to not really be moon rocks. Like, a bunch of them for sure have been tested by scientists, and they've found that these rocks are from another planet. But there was a rock that they gave to whoever's the head of Holland, and it was personally given with a plaque by Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins, and it turned out to be petrified wood. Moon rock given to Holland by Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin is fake. It's a moon rock given to the Dutch Prime Minister by the Apollo 11 astronauts in 1969, turned out to be a fake. So they were giving people pieces of petrified wood saying, this is for you, we went to the moon, God bless America.
With 308,000 euros.
Now, there's a bunch of possibilities, okay? Let's just be honest about this, because this story is from 2009. It's entirely possible that between 1969... there's multiple sources, but that's the Telegraph. That's a legit newspaper.
But you got to trace the source.
For sure. What I'm saying is that it's entirely possible that someone stole that moon rock and replaced it with that. That's possible.
All right.
That's possible. Or it's possible they just had some fake rocks. Here's the thing. Bill Clinton had a quote in his book, in one of his books. I think his book is called My Life. And he had a quote about the moon landing and a story about him having this conversation with a carpenter. And that this carpenter said that he didn't believe the moon landing. He goes, them television fellers, they can make anything look real. And he said, this is a quote in Bill Clinton's fucking book. He said, back then I thought that guy was a quack. But after, or a crank, whatever, crazy person. But after 8 years in the White House, I was wondering if he wasn't ahead of his time.
Oh, wow.
This is a guy that was the fucking president of the United States. And he's talking specifically about an old carpenter telling him the moon landing was fake. And then he says, I wondered after 8 years in the White House if that guy wasn't ahead of his time.
Causation, correlation.
Yeah. No, look, could be bullshit.
Yeah.
Could be bullshit. 100%. It could be just a good story.
But I think that's the thing about conspiracy theories. Is like they lead you on all these dead-end chases.
Oh, yeah. So to the long answer of your question, that's where I stood on this whole moon landing thing. That's why I came around to thinking it a different way.
Right.
I was way too convinced that I was right.
Right.
I'm convinced I was right, but fucking real low levels of understanding of any of the science of this stuff.
Yeah, I think that's the problem is as a society we're so scientifically illiterate, you know, and that causes so much room for speculation. And you're kind of a prisoner of people who are masters of their craft. You're kind of a prisoner to their quote unquote agenda. I don't want to put that bad of a term on it, but you're kind of a prisoner of that because we don't have any choice but to take their word for it or to pursue it yourself.
Right, to learn about what they're talking about yourself, to know if they're right or not. Yeah. Well, that's absolutely the case, right? Because you know that's the case in almost everything else.
JRE number 1260. A simple joke about Martians quickly turned into a deeper mystery about what might really exist on Mars.
Larger
Those guys
people,
are huge.
because they're eating better.
You know what I wanted to ask you?
Please.
Conspiracy theories. I know you have some.
Yeah, I got some.
I thought I was listening to you was something about Martians the other day.
That was probably Alex Jones.
Was that Alex Jones?
Alex and Eddie. Oh my God, I saw an amazing NASA shirt I was going to buy for Eddie the other day.
Yeah, Alex wore a NASA shirt.
I saw
just
that.
To fuck
I watched
with Eddie.
it.
Yeah. Eddie believes shit that even Alex thinks is ridiculous. Like, what conspiracy theories do you want to know about?
No, I'm like, let me hear some.
Well, I believe less and less than I ever used to.
Population control. Do you believe that?
No, I don't believe that. I don't believe there's any concerted effort, like where there's a bunch of really rich people that have decided to euthanize a bunch of people to keep the population low. I think that's paranoid. I think that there's probably some people that go, you know what, we would be a lot healthier if there was less people. But there's no obvious effort. The population keeps fucking growing. Imagine if you were the all-powerful, all-knowing people that are running the world and you're doing such a shitty job of population control.
Yeah, I don't know how you're going to control India and China.
You're not. You're not.
You're not getting in these fucking dirty villages and trying to stop people.
You're not doing it anywhere. And even in this country, people are fucking like wild animals and just
I got a kid coming next month.
Hey, I got 3 kids. Yeah, like, look, it's just the way it is, man. Yeah. People like to fuck. They like to make people.
Well, in China, you're only allowed 1 kid.
No, I think they lifted that.
They've lifted that because a lot of people were drowning their daughters. You know, there was horrible shit. Yeah,
wow.
They were killing. I mean, this is the rumor. Was that people they wanted a son, and if they had a daughter, they would, you know.
Yeah, daughter was like the lose for you.
Yeah.
And to me, a daughter's a win because they're so much easier to deal with.
Really?
I find with my daughter, we're like this.
Yeah, you know what, man? I mean, just be happy.
But I got a guy coming, a boy coming next month.
Yeah, you got to have the yin and the yang.
I got little Joseph Lennox Lewis Peters coming next month.
That's what he's gonna name him.
Hey,
Joseph Lennox Rogan Peters. He's gonna be amazing.
I'm so happy that you gave him my name.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. Gave him my first.
I was gonna give him your middle name, but I didn't want to do that to him. So
what's your middle name?
Whoa, yes. My middle name is Claudius.
Claudius?
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds like a Roman emperor.
Absolutely. Claudius. There you go.
Beautiful. Hey, man, I know you're supposed to get out of here at 2 o'clock. Do you have a hard out?
No.
No? You can stay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, good. Beautiful. Let's keep talking. Beautiful. Yeah, so back to your question. I think there's definitely some people that are influencing the way the world works, for sure. But I don't think there's anybody that's really trying to control population or euthanize.
What about this one?
Okay.
Do you think the Russians put Donald Trump in the president's chair?
I think the Russians absolutely wanted Donald Trump to win.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I think they definitely undermined our democracy through various methods of manipulating people through social media. In fact, I have a woman coming on very soon. When is Renee DiResto on? This week? Next week. She's on next week. And she actually studied it and wrote this very comprehensive report about it. It was on Sam Harris's podcast and detailed millions of interactions with Russian bots and Russian fake accounts, and that these troll farms that would create memes, and they did a bunch of different things. They didn't just try to pump Trump up, but they also tried to get people against each other and cause all sorts of civil arguments and all sorts of online
Unrest.
Yeah, all sorts of unrest online. They organized these meetings. Like they organized one pro-Texas meeting across the street from a pro-Muslim meeting. They did it on purpose.
I remember that,
They did
yeah.
it all through Facebook to get these people to fight with each other.
Wow.
They're doing these things to try to get people to take sides and to get people to be angry at the other side. They did a lot of shit like that, real sneaky stuff that we probably do in foreign countries all the time. And, we're mad that they're doing it to us because now they're doing it through social media.
Well, if you think about when we were growing up in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, all the imagery we saw of the USSR was very dark and gray.
Yeah.
And it was very barren, and it was destitute. And
Well, some of it was true, though.
yeah, but that's all we saw. And then all of a
Right.
sudden that lifts and these hot fucking Russian chicks show up. I'm like, where were these bitches this whole time? Where was she in the propaganda?
That's so true. You never saw the hot Russian ladies.
Never.
They're some of the hottest women on the planet.
Yeah,
man.
they used to show us these big manly women. What do you want? And now
Right.
you're like, well, well, hello.
Where did that one come from?
They were hiding.
Yeah. Yeah, I have two friends that are married to Russian ladies. They're very happy.
Now the question, because you're American and everything, I'm not American, so is this wall ever going to get built, or what's the situation?
I don't. I think it was more of a campaign rhetoric thing. Build that wall, build that wall.
So he's kind of staying with it.
I mean, I
to
think he
keep his
wants
supporters.
Yeah, I think he's got to kind of do something, right? Once you say that you're going to build a wall, you got to kind of do something. But there ain't shit been built.
Yeah,
we're
no.
2 years into the president. They haven't built shit.
Well, there's a year left and a year and a half left in the presidency.
There is some wall. There's some wall that's up, but there's also some big ass gaps. And the idea that they're going to stop drugs from coming over from that wall is crazy.
Right now, the wall looks like Leon Spinks' mouth. Just
You son of a bitch. People forgot about Leon Spanks.
JRE number 1314. A chilling idea suggests some of the stories we grew up believing might have deeper layers hidden beneath the surface.
Because in my mind, if you like somebody, right, you see them, you're going to go up to them and speak to them. I just try to gauge things on how I would do it, right? For example, I was on the plane with Steve Nash this morning.
Okay.
I saw Steve Nash. I'm like, and Wax is like, oh, shit, Wax, my boy. He's like, oh, shit, that's Steve Nash. And I'm like, oh, shit, that's Steve. I didn't speak to Steve.
Did you say hello?
No.
Nothing.
No.
Okay.
I didn't feel it. Even though I respect him.
Right.
Know he's a great player. But if it was John Stockton,
That's a little
I'd be like,
That's
John,
a little
hey!
different.
You know what
That's
I'm
a little
saying?
different.
Steve, I didn't feel
There's
that
some
with
people you
Steve.
have to say hi to.
Say what?
There's some people you have to say hi to.
Rachel
Yeah.
Dolezal.
Get the fuck out of here.
I said hi.
Did you?
I met her. Seattle. Absolutely.
Where was she?
I saw her with, I think she had at least one kid, maybe another one. She was just at the airport. We're online.
She's
Regular.
bisexual
No
now,
TSA
too.
pre-check.
She's
What?
bisexual.
She's bisexual now, too.
She's she's bisexual, biracial. She's not biracial.
Transracial.
She is black. She's not
Transracial.
both.
Transracial.
I know, but what I'm saying is she's bi, so she's straight and gay with the thing.
Yeah.
But I said hello, said what's up. Amazing forehead. One of the best foreheads you'll ever see in a game.
I would have
Unreal.
ignored her.
What?
I would have ignored her. Rachel Dolezal? Yeah.
You wouldn't have got the selfie?
No. I
saw Jussie Smollett. I took a picture of him
Oh my goodness.
in Lafayette Bakery.
What do you think is going to happen with him?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing's
Absolutely
gonna ride that out?
Nothing.
It's amazing
There's
nothing
no
legally. It's amazing legally.
Oh, I think Chicago was coming after him, though.
You think so?
Nah.
Yeah. Didn't they say that
They're
they were
trying
going
to get him for the money.
for the money that they
But he missed-
spent?
But that's not that much.
There's no such thing as cancel culture no more. Cancel culture is absolute bullshit, bro.
Ooh.
Really?
O.J. Simpson proves that.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when Bill Cosby comes home, he'll be on the road doing motherfucking stand-up. R. Kelly's still out here selling shows. Like, Charlie Sheen is still out here flourishing. Like, there's
Charlie
no
Sheen ducked it all.
Dude, what?
He ducked
Wait a
it
minute.
all.
Not Wait a minute, not all. He did get that AIDS.
He's got AIDS, but
He got that AIDS. He got the good AIDS?
Today with medication.
Exactly. What
Mayweather
is AIDS?
Doesn't even.
What is
You're worse off
HIV?
getting the flu.
Come on, man. Man, what is HIV?
Yeah, what is it?
Some say the greatest endorsement deal Magic Johnson ever signed. I'm saying we're not going to act like his career didn't flourish.
Bro,
And he looks great.
Take this AIDS, you go get some movie theaters.
Bro, I was in my car the day they announced on the radio that Magic Johnson had HIV, and I was shitting my pants. I was like, oh my God, this is like the beginning of a zombie movie. We're all going to get it. If Magic Johnson, with all his money and all his fame, if he's got it, I'm going to get it. We're all going to get it. I was terrified.
Did you stop rolling?
I remember in my car driving,
Yeah.
and then I hear it on the radio. I'm like, holy shit, this is insane. 30 years later, he looks great.
He looks amazing.
He looks great.
He's on TV telling us why he left the motherfucking Lakers.
He's like,
and
fuck the Lakers.
Not once did somebody say, yo, you know Magic got HIV?
Oh, I said
yo,
it.
This how you... Shut up. No, you did.
That's all I was thinking about. Every time I
Knock
see
it
him.
off.
Because
I
he
don't
looks
believe you.
incredible. He does look incredible.
He does look incredible.
Yeah.
He does look incredible.
He's not even positive in tests anymore.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I heard that.
Yeah. If you give him a test for HIV, it comes up negative. Because apparently these protease inhibitors and all these different things that they take to the different medications, you don't even test positive for HIV anymore.
By the way, then listen, it was this older white dude, and I forgot what TV show I was on the set of, but he was explaining to me the whole situation with Magic, and he was like, the reason that they chose Magic was because they wanted to erase a lot of these stigmas. People thought that HIV and AIDS was a gay disease, and they needed like a alpha male, I guess, to have it, to kind of erase that stigma and to let people know that you can live with it. Like HIV, AIDS.
Like they gave it to him?
Well, this is what he told us. This is not, by the way, this is not a Charlemagne the God theory. All right? I'm telling you what somebody told me. What they said to me was Magic had got caught up in some type of scandal. And,
I heard this. Underage, right?
Yeah, and before the scandal came out, because the person that he was with was like
allegedly
some bigwig's child or something like that. And so they said, this is what you're going to do so we don't ruin you. I'm not saying it's true.
Joe, before you take this in, he believes in Sasquatch.
No, I'm not saying I believe this.
He doesn't. He believes Sasquatch was real.
That just started right now on this podcast. If I asked him yesterday, he'd be like 100% there. Sasquatch is real.
I would say this. I'm not saying I believe that magic theory. I'm just repeating what I was told.
That is a common rumor that's out there. I've heard that rumor as well.
Guy
That he
told us
doesn't
that for no
actually
reason.
have it, but that it was either that or...
But we just got done saying how you read rumors about you that are ridiculous, and you go, what the fuck? And then you realize, oh, this is what happens.
Yes.
People just make shit up, and then people repeat the shit that people make up.
Because we can't fathom that he beat AIDS, bro. AIDS was bodying people
Killing
back in the
people.
day.
Like Freddie Mercury.
Freddie, gone.
Yeah.
Who else?
Eazy-E.
Eazy-E, my
Gone.
downstairs neighbor.
Yeah.
Who's your downstairs neighbor?
No, I had a downstairs neighbor who had AIDS.
You gotta put a comma on this shit, man.
I'm just saying. Listen, I don't
Can't throw that in the sentence.
That's not enough of a pause there.
Bro, I learned about AIDS real young. My downstairs neighbor, dead.
I thought Andrew was in his 30s. I'm like, he was your downstairs neighbor. I was like, what the?
So look at
this
Charlie
motherfucker.
Sheen.
Look at him, yo.
Book Charlie Sheen for $350. Book him where?
On Cameo.
Oh, on Cameo.
On, what the fuck
Why
is
does he
Cameo?
have sunglasses on? Like, what is happening here? What is he doing?
Yeah, I don't
This
get
strange
Doing a shout
fellow.
out to somebody, just showing you what he's up to.
He aged very quickly. It's like, see, he seemed to be fine when he was doing 2.5 Men. When he stopped doing that show, he aged like 100 years.
Joe, he has HIV. We don't know how it's
Wow, that's
affecting
true,
him.
too. I forgot he has
exactly.
HIV. I forgot. I
Everybody,
forgot he has it.
everybody's not Magic Johnson here.
Yeah,
okay,
I forgot he has it.
I'm saying
Magic.
That's why. That, by the way, that is why I say Magic is like the greatest NBA player of all time.
Why?
Because of that, he played 13 seasons in the NBA, went to 9 NBA finals, won 5 of them, won in college, came in, won his rookie year, and went one-on-one with HIV and fucking won.
Destroyed
He
him.
destroyed the stigma of HIV.
He definitely did.
Anybody that catches HIV right now, the first thing you're going to say to yourself is,
Give me Magic's doc.
I can live through anything if Magic made it.
Real talk.
You know what I'm
Magic's
saying?
fine. 30
That's
years
it.
later, he's okay.
What
It's not
the-
a death sentence
that's
anymore.
it.
JRE 2445. He shares a theory so unsettling, it makes you question how much of history we truly understand.
Like I remember we were doing a new material night one night, and I got off stage, and you walked up to me, and you go, "Did you really not know that Helen Keller and Anne Frank weren't the same person?" And I was like, "Yeah, you should think they're the same person."
Bro, did you? You know what I've been reading? That Helen Keller was a fraud.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let's start here. Okay. So, okay, I heard Stevie Wonder could see. Okay. And there's footage of him seeing guy shit.
Like what?
Pull it up. Yeah, there's like
all sorts of stuff and some very interesting stories people have told too.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like there's
Boy,
a video.
that's a great secret. To keep that secret for so long while you're still alive. Helen Keller's dead, and it just leaked out in 2026.
Dude, I brought a blind guy on stage one time in Hartford, Connecticut. I was like, he was with a fucking smoking hot chick.
He probably didn't even know.
And I go, dude, what a waste. And he was like, what? And I go, you got a beautiful chick, but you could just, wouldn't a fat one feel better? Like, because you're all touch, right? And he goes, no, man, I can feel her face. And I went, what? And he goes, she's gorgeous. And she was.
Oh, he could feel her face.
So this is when I was young, and there were no rules in comedy, and no one had phones. So I said, hey, man, come up on stage. I want you to feel people in the audience and rate them on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, no.
And fucking the confidence of these chicks. I'll do it. And gets up,
boy.
Feels her face. He's like, 4. And the crowd was like, this guy's good. He could have worked at a fair, Joe. He was so fucking good. He was so good. You have to have footage of Stevie Wonder shaking dudes' hands.
Come on.
There's one where I saw where he comes up on stage and Stevie sticks his hand out to the side and the guy's like, hey, what's up, Stevie?
Yeah, but he would hear people and know that they were to the side of him.
I don't know. That's what I heard. But then I think that's what happened with Helen Keller is, right? The story
Helen
gets
Keller,
bigger.
It seems like it was fraud. It seems like she probably was like visually impaired. Okay, when someone attempted to shake hands with Stevie Wonder, I pray this.
Oh, that's a joke making fun of it. Okay, so not that one.
Oh.
But I did find, so there's a bunch of compilations of people, like this is from Drink Champs, these Stevie Wonder stories keep getting wilder every time.
Shout out. You ever had Drink Champs on?
No. Let me hear some of this.
Everybody got Stevie's Not Blind stories. Stevie Wonder be FaceTiming on everything I love. Stevie Wonder does FaceTime me. Come on, man! I can't make this shit up. Come on! I was in there chilling I was getting my hair done with my hairstylist. He gonna tell us a story. And my phone rang, and my hairstylist like, did that say Stevie Wonder? I said, yep. I went boop, and he was like, I've been looking for you.
Snoop Dogg said that Stevie Wonder's FaceTimes him?
Yeah,
we got all kinds of stories.
Stevie FaceTimes me too.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Think Stevie can see?
Sometimes.
What? Shaq said he rode in the elevator with Stevie and Stevie pressed the button.
We lived in the same building on Wilshire.
All right, I just need to describe this story. He's by himself.
You can park in front, or you can park in the bottom. I'm already in the elevator.
So you say Stevie got out of his car, Dolo?
No, but he got on the elevator, Dolo.
Okay.
And I'm standing in the corner. I see him. I don't want to say nothing. He's like, what up, Diesel? And he hit his button, and he got the floor, and I'm like...
Shaq said he rode in the elevator with him. He didn't say that he was in there. He just seen Stevie, like they lived in the same building. They both walked in, and Shaq, because he didn't want to say nothing, and Stevie said, when Shaq walked out, all right, later, Diesel.
First he came in, he
crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, what a great move that would be if he really did it. I think he's blind.
No, it's the pitch.
But what up, Diesel? First of all, the sound that he would make when he walks. Like, Shaq is huge.
Yeah.
He's an enormous person. So
Biggest
you'd probably realize there was an enormous man next to you.
You'd have to feel it.
Right.
I'll test it.
Maybe he wears the same deodorant or cologne. Because dudes who can't see have amazing sense of smell. Like people smell differently.
Yeah.
Like certain people smell different. I guess I don't notice it because I can see them. But I guarantee
Shaq does have his own deodorant.
Yeah, there you go.
No, he has his own deodorant.
So
It's got Shaq's head on it, I think.
He probably smelled Shaq's deodorant.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just trying to be charitable.
This is how I think it happened, right? Stevie Wonder goes on the Ed Sullivan Show at 5, and he's probably hard. He probably can't see. He probably doesn't have 20/20 vision. He's probably legally blind, right?
Legally blind.
Legally blind. Like he can see shit, but it's not great vision. Right. And they're like, this is little Stevie, and he's like, what's wrong with his eyes? We can't fucking put his eyes out like that. Give him sunglasses. And then the story got bigger than it was. I will say this. Okay, I got video of this. This just proves that he might be blind.
Okay.
Leanne was at a concert the other night. This guy, Corey Henry's Stevie's favorite pianist. Leanne loves Corey Henry. She goes to the concert. She's sitting next to Stevie Wonder. And Stevie Wonder didn't stand. The whole place was standing. And Leanne was like, why isn't he standing? I go, because you only stand to see. If you're blind, you're going to sit through the whole show. It's no different to you.
Right.
So I was like, and then I have video of Stevie Wonder sitting. But it's also convenient because who the fuck wants to stand for a show?
I don't.
Helen Keller.
The Helen Keller one's different.
The Helen Keller one's
because there's doctors that have said, like, it was medical records at the time where people said she was responding to light.
This says that there's that's not true.
The Helen Keller thing. Medical board archives from 1902 to 1924 do not contain examination reports showing Helen Keller had functional vision and hearing throughout a disabled life. And the conspiracy that Keller was a cash cow for Sullivan is debunked by the fact that Keller's full life continued with another companion, Polly Thompson, who also interpreted for her. That doesn't mean anything. That means that other person could be in on it as well.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean anything. Also, this is a time in 1919. I mean, come on.
How easy was a lie in
1902 to
1919?
1924? I mean, you could get away with so much. So she supposedly flew a fucking plane?
This says
I told you she flew
no, hold on. Yeah, this says it was from like a movie, and there's no.
The movie. She flew a plane in a movie.
A silent film. She played herself.
She played herself flying a plane. They just thought people were retarded back then. They're like, show her flying a plane. She's the best.
She started a university.
Nothing can hold her back. Why is it holding you back? She can't hear. She can't see, and she could talk and write books. Like, wait, what? Okay, that is this one article.
I knew
but
she flew a plane.
I've read things that said that the people that were examining her said that she responded to sound and that she responded to light. Just because this one thing says it's not true doesn't mean that it's not true.
Well, then here's the question.
It's also, we don't know. This is 100 years ago.
Yeah.
We really don't know.
How blind and deaf do you need to be before you say you're not blind and deaf?
Right. Well, the thing is, like, can you not hear anything? Can you not see anything? That's blind and that's deaf. Anything else is like, I have poor hearing and poor sight.
Yeah, but that doesn't sell a fucking book.
Right, but that's the problem. Like, maybe she could see a little. Maybe she just had bad vision, and maybe she could talk a little. Because otherwise, how? I mean,
so less impressive.
Explain to me how you're going to write books. Explain to me how you're going to grasp concepts and language and communication and interaction. Explain to me. I don't get it. I've never met anybody since then that's been able to do it. Do any blind, deaf people today write books and fly planes? This is the Instagram thing that I saw initially on Helen Keller. I'll send this to you. Yeah, you don't believe that, but you believe that bullshit article that you just pulled up.
No, I'm just saying starting with social media isn't the best place.
Listen, it's the best place for information.
That's where I get all my information.
Everything's accurate.
You could start there.
It's all real. It's all real.
Have you ever told someone, yeah, I read a book about it. It was just an Instagram post. And they're like, a book? I think I saw the same post.
Yeah.
Helen Keller was a fraud. Doctors proved she could see and hear.
That's her?
Her teacher made millions from the lie. It said Medical Board archives from 1902 to 1924 allegedly contain examination reports suggesting Helen Keller retained partial vision and hearing throughout her life. According to those claims, multiple physicians noted she reacted to sounds when Anne Sullivan was not present, tracked movement with her eyes, and physically flinched at loud noises. One sealed report is said to conclude, I don't like that, is said to conclude that her responses pointed to coordinated deception rather than true disability. Sullivan reportedly refused independent testing. Aha. The theory argues that the situation became highly profitable. Sullivan allegedly discovered Keller at age 7, promoted a miraculous teaching breakthrough, and toured the country, charging the modern equivalent of thousands per appearance. Supporters of the claim say Keller's autobiography noticeably changed tone when Sullivan became ill, suggesting Sullivan authored both voices. Financial records are said to show Sullivan controlled all income, keeping Keller financially dependent for life. Linguistic and analytics cited by conspiracy supporters claim Keller's writings mirrored Sullivan's private letters exactly, matching vocabulary, sentence structure, and even spelling mistakes. They argue that Keller wrote without Sullivan present, that when Keller wrote without Sullivan present, the work appeared elementary, concluding that her eloquent public words came from Sullivan, not Keller. According to the theory, disability organizations later built massive institutions around Keller's story. When evidence questioning her condition surfaced, it was allegedly suppressed due to protect a lucrative charity, an inspiration-based industry that relied on a powerful symbolic figure.
That's how it came about.
There's no link here.
Shut up, Jamie.
I just want to say.
Stop ruining everything. You're right. There's no link there.
There's not a single link to say, and people even ask like, where are the links? And when you Google some of this stuff,
I like that one though. I knew it.
I'm
with that guy.
Christian Harvey.
I'm with that guy. I'm with that.
JRE number 1284. Graham Hancock reveals evidence of massive ancient structures hidden beneath the Amazon, suggesting a lost civilization far more advanced than we were told.
Some of the more fascinating pieces of evidence in South America have come out recently about these channels and pathways that they've found in the Amazon that could not have been created any other way but by humans creating irrigation, humans creating, like it appears like grids, like a city grid.
Definitely. The Amazon is a colossal mystery, and it's one of the subjects that I explore in depth in America before. First of all, to give some basic figures, the Amazon basin is huge. The Amazon basin is 7 million square kilometers in area. And within it, 5.5 million square kilometers remains almost entirely unstudied by archaeologists. And that's the 5.5 million square kilometers that is still covered by dense rainforest. And to put that into perspective, 5.5 million square kilometers is the size of the entire Indian subcontinent. So it's like saying, we've done world archaeology, but we've just ignored India, you know. We've done world archaeology, but we've just ignored the Amazon. It's the same argument. 5.5 million square kilometers. The view was, again, there was a dogma. There was a preconception. Human beings couldn't have flourished in the Amazon. It's not a resource-rich area. The soils are poor. It's a difficult area, challenging to get to, very far from the Bering Straits. So the view was that humans hadn't entered the Amazon until about 1,000 years ago. And then gradually, little by little, that view has begun to change. And it's begun to change because of the tragic clearances of the Amazon, because the Amazon rainforest is literally being cut down and turned into soybean farms and cattle ranches. And in that cutting down process has emerged things that shouldn't be there at all. For example, evidence that large cities flourished in the Amazon, enormous cities, which were larger than there was a Spanish explorer who went down the Amazon River system in 1541 to 1542. He was the first European to cross the entire length of South America from west to east along the Amazon. He reported seeing incredible cities, advanced arts and crafts, millions of people, a thriving culture. And 100 years later, when other Europeans got into the Amazon, they couldn't find these cities. So they said, oh, Francisco Orellana, that was his name, made it all up. It was just a fantasy. And then in the last decade, as the clearances of the Amazon have proceeded, we've begun to see the traces of those cities. What happened was that the Spaniards brought smallpox into the Amazon. Smallpox devastated the local population because there was no immunity to it. There was a massive die-off. The cities were deserted. Within 50 years, they were completely overgrown by the jungle, and that's why they were not seen by the explorers who came in 100 years later. But now the jungle's being cleared, those cities are emerging, and we can say that a city like London, which had a population of roughly 50,000 in the 16th century, there were cities of that size all over the Amazon. Wow. Huge numbers of them. And a possible total population of the Amazon that exceeded 20 million people.
What?
Yes, 20 million. This is the latest evidence from the Amazon. And then you ask yourself, how did they do that? How did they feed 20 million people in the Amazon? Because it's a fact, rainforest soils are poor. It's one of the reasons these soybean farms are a really stupid idea, because once you clear the rainforest, the land is largely unfertile and you can't grow stuff on it for very long. So how did they feed all these people? The answer was they invented a soil. And that soil has a name. It's called terra preta. Archaeologists refer to it as Amazonian dark earths or Amazonian black earth. It's a man-made soil. It's thousands of years old. It's full of microbes that are not found in adjoining soil. It's based around biochar. And you can take a handful of 8,000-year-old terra preta and you can add it to barren soil, and that soil will instantly become fertile. It's highly sought after in the Amazon, and it explains how they fed these people. There was science in the Amazon.
How did they create this?
Well, this is something that's not understood. It's still not understood by soil experts to this day as to how that was done, but it's one of many intriguing pieces of evidence of much higher development in the Amazon that it has been given credit for, and of a kind of science in the Amazon.
Jamie's got an image of it up there. So this is it?
This is terra preta, yeah. Exactly,
wow.
Exactly.
And so was that done by burns? Did they use controlled burns?
They did. One way that it was achieved was to do wet burning. Of middens. They would be burned and smolder. They wouldn't burn fiercely, which just produces charcoal. They would burn and smolder, and that what is called biochar would result, and that's part of the fertility of the soil. But the mystery is the microbial content of this soil, which is completely different from the microbes in neighboring soils, and that remains unexplained.
So, what are the theories? Composting, some sort of advanced composting?
Yes, some sort of advanced composting. But again, what has not been explained is the microbial content of these soils. So there first of all is an issue of how two things: how large populations get fed in the Amazon, and evidence that there was a culture in the Amazon that was capable of manipulating the environment in such a way that it could support large populations with the invention of terra preta. Secondly, new evidence, previously not recognized, the Amazon is basically a garden. The Amazon is a man-made rainforest. There are certain trees like Brazil nut trees or the ice cream bean tree, which are food crops, which are very, very valuable, and they dominate the tree regime in the Amazon. They're what's referred to as hyperdominant species. In other words, people living in the Amazon over thousands of years selected certain trees, which they then cultivated and grew. So the whole thing is not simply a wild, pristine rainforest. It's a very ancient man-made environment. And emerging from that man-made environment, as well as evidence of large cities, large populations, and this mysterious dark earth, are huge geometrical structures. And again, I go into this at length in America before because I love this mystery. We have in the UK structures that are called henges. I live in the city of Bath, and about 30 miles away there's a beautiful site called Avebury and another more famous site called Stonehenge. And what a henge is a ditch which has been dug deep, and then an embankment has been pushed up outside the ditch. When people first saw these structures, they wondered if they'd been built for defense. But then it became obvious they hadn't been built for defense, because if you want to create a moat, you put it outside your embankment, not inside your embankment. So a henge is an earthwork which consists of a deep moat with a large embankment outside it, and it can be circular, it can be square, and in the UK and other parts of Europe it often contains stone circles, megalithic stone circles as well, but the henge itself is entirely an earthwork. What we find in the Amazon are thousands of henges that are now beginning to emerge from the cleared area of the jungle, and others that have been identified for the first time with LiDAR. LiDAR technology is being employed in the Amazon. It's non-destructive. You can see what's under the trees.
What is LiDAR?
Light imaging and detective radar. They bounce laser beams down into the jungle. There's a whole pattern of them. You need helicopters, and but it doesn't damage the rainforest. And you can strip away and see what's there. If this isn't too much of a diversion, let me give you the example of Guatemala. Guatemala is a small country. If I remember correctly, it's not much more than 100,000 square kilometers in size. It is filled with intriguing Mayan ruins. Everybody has heard of Tikal. What archaeologists didn't know was that literally within walking distance of Tikal, surrounding that whole area were more than 60,000 structures that they hadn't identified. And these have all been identified by LiDAR in a country that's just 100,000 kilometers in area. So you have to ask yourself, in that 5.5 million square kilometers of the Amazon, if LiDAR technology could be applied comprehensively, what would we find beneath there? And the evidence already is extremely tempting and extremely tantalizing. And I'm intrigued by these huge geometrical figures, which involve primarily circles and squares. And they are classic henges in the sense that they are deep ditches surrounded by huge embankments. They're extremely geometrical. For example, you can find an octagon surrounding a square. At a place called Jacosá in the Amazon, you can find a square perfectly enclosing a circle. Now, that is an exercise called squaring the circle that our academics have given to the Greeks. They said the Greeks were the first people who performed that exercise. But now we find in dated sites in the Amazon that this was being done in the Amazon long before the Greeks.
What are the dates?
The earliest dates that have been found in these sites now are about 3,500 years old. About 3,500 years old. But the evidence is that the sites have been constantly remade. And what intrigues me is what remains in that 5.5 million square kilometers that has not been investigated yet. We are just, I think, looking at the edges of a mystery. The archaeologists involved, who are mainly from Finland and also from Brazil, feel the same. Their estimate is that there are thousands of these structures remaining in the jungle, and they're open as to how old they may ultimately prove to be. The investigation needs to be done. But what's fascinating about them is this very powerful geometry and astronomy. So a number of the sites are perfectly aligned to true north, true south, true east, and true west. I'm not talking about magnetic north. I'm talking about true astronomical north. To do that, there's only one way to do it, and that's with astronomy. So that tells us that astronomers were at work in the Amazon. The geometry is very complex and very precise. That tells us that people with geometrical skills were at work in the Amazon. And thirdly, the scale of the sites of hundreds of meters, gigantic earthworks on the scale of hundreds of meters, tells us that this was highly organized project that was undertaken on a very large scale by very large numbers of people. It's a wonderful mystery, and it deserves much further attention. And that's Jacosá, exactly, the squares, squaring the circles. So you can see the outside embankment, and then inside it is the square ditch, and then there's another embankment inside that, and a circle inside that.
It's crazy that they made a road right through that. What
well,
assholes.
Modern road, yeah, because there's no respect for for the ancient world, unfortunately.
And there's another one. Look at that! Wow, that's incredible.
So there are thousands of these things.
How they found the stuff that they found in the Amazon? What imaging technology were they using to find?
Initially, it was entirely found because areas of the rainforest had been cleared. Economic interests said, we want to make a cattle ranch here, or we want to make a soybean farm here. So we're just going to clear the rainforest. In the process of clearing the rainforest, they start discovering these earthworks that had previously been completely overgrown by the jungle. Then the next step was to say, what could we do to find out more about this? Obviously, they don't want to destroy more jungle, and luckily we have a technology which is LiDAR, as I mentioned, which uses radar. And using LiDAR, they've been able to identify many more of these sites, and then to get to the sites without destroying the jungle, and to begin excavations on them, and to find that they go back, in the cases of the ones that have been explored so far, at least 3,000 years. This is an intriguing development, completely unexplained in our understanding of the Amazon. And what it suggests is a heritage of extremely ancient knowledge. You don't wake up one morning and create a perfectly geometrical square or circular earthwork that's perfectly aligned to true north, south, east, and west on an enormous scale. There has to be a background to that. There has to be a reason for doing it. And the evidence is none of these sites were lived in. There's no habitation refuse found in them whatsoever. We don't know what they were used for. I make the case in America before that they're connected to a system of ideas which is found all around the world, which is to do with death and the afterlife destiny of the soul.
Some believe secret military technology could explain mysteries people still can't make sense of today.
And as soon as things get hot and everything turns brown and it stops raining, that's when fire season happens. And a lot of it is fucking idiots throwing cigarettes out the window.
Sorry.
A lot of it is people that are camping, homeless people start
and
fires.
gender reveals.
Yeah,
they have they have the fireworks at the gender reveal.
Yeah.
Everybody loses their house. How about like those guys, the smoke jumpers, whatever the people that do that? That's a balls gig. But they didn't have that in Hawaii. They had nothing like that there. Like when that town went up, it was all made of bamboo. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah. Oh, you mean in Maui?
In Maui,
the
yeah.
Maui thing's crazy.
Yeah.
Because the Maui was power lines downed.
Oh, that's what it was.
And wasn't response time terrible, too?
It was non-existent.
Yeah. They never had anything like that happen there.
Yeah, but there was also a lot of problems. Like the people didn't want to release the water because the water is owned. Like there's water rights, and I think the water was going to the rich neighborhoods where the golf courses are. And so there's like trying to get the water, and then there's also like, how the fuck do you have a place that's this windy where you still have exposed power lines? That seems insane.
Man.
That seems insane. Like every time those things fall down and you didn't clean up any of the brush around it.
Wasn't the conspiracy that they were trying to get it out of there so they could sell the land?
Yes. The crazy conspiracy is the direct energy weapons conspiracy. People think
What?
that those fires.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What is this?
Yeah. Bro, the real tinfoil hat dudes, they'll corner you. Like, what do you think about the direct energy weapon in Maui?
Was that like a heart attack gun for fires?
There's apparently the government has the ability, according to the conspiracy theorists, of and maybe even some real people, of having these things that they call direct energy weapons. So it's almost like a laser beam. And I know that these are things that they're working on. I know these are things that are probably top secret because it's always been discussed. There's been studies on how to do it, and there's been papers written on it. So the conspiracy theory is that they lit those houses on fire on purpose with direct energy weapons. And if you had a blue house, with a blue ceiling, that the blue ceiling would somehow reflect against this energy weapon and stop your house from burning.
No way.
Oh, yeah. Not only that, but they use, because Biden did some speech, and in his, old kind of senile way, he was talking about how some houses survived because they had the right roof. And everybody's like, see? It's the blue roof.
That's all it takes.
So conspiracy theorists literally painting their roofs blue to protect them from direct energy weapons. Jamie, please Google this.
No way.
By the way, this might have been one of those things that 4chan started for a fuck, just for goofing with people, and then people ran with it. Who knows? Or it might be just people that are out of their
Can you imagine
minds.
your house burning up because your wife or partner was like, no, don't paint it blue.
Operation
We want
Blue
green.
Roof.
That's a thing, but it's
No
not.
way.
It's part of the conspiracy thing.
What does that mean? What is Operation
One
Blue Roof?
Operation
post
Blue
on
Roof
X.
is a thing about getting people blue tarps to cover their roofs. That's not the same thing as what.
Oh, the 10 cities.
Allegedly, but social media posts sharing the post typically include a video from a TikTok account that often shares clips of everyday items being burned by a handheld industrial laser in a workshop. The clip shows a laser burning yellow, red, and green fabric while a blue swatch is unscathed, with text saying it can be programmed for different wavelengths.
Wow.
So some lasers don't work on blue ceilings, and these people think that it's the blue roof that'll protect you.
Someone said everything that's blue survived, including T-shirts.
A blue car and some blue beach umbrellas around Front Street along the waterfront were not destroyed in the inferno.
And the Blue Man Group. They were playing in town. They were doing a road gig. That is really stretching it, if you ask me.
Yeah, they're going hard on this.
This is too much.
DEW stands for direct energy weapons, which use technology like high energy lasers instead of projectiles like bullets. But these videos are not evidence that they have anything to do with the wildfires. To start with, they show, what is the videos are saying? Handful of blue items in the fire's aftermath. But other footage and photos show these were hardly the only things left standing. So, but the thing about the direct energy weapon, is there videos of those things being used? Like, is there is a direct energy weapon a real thing, like 100%?
Yeah.
So that's different.
I think it's true. It's like what you said, lasers.
So there's videos of the U.S. government talking about direct energy weapons.
Yeah.
In very broad terms.
It's only like $15 a shot.
But they don't.
It's true. No, they were
Really?
saying that
It's
this will
cheap?
be the best way to shoot down missiles and drones.
High energy lasers and high powered microwaves. Oh,
Boom.
so they just shot that thing?
Nice.
Almost looks like the drone video.
Nice.
So they just shot that out of the sky?
But it's coming from a boat onto a boat. I don't know how it works.
Oh. And so what does it
Look
look?
at that guy just glumly typing.
Typing on. Isn't
I
it
thought it would
racist
be
to use an Asian guy?
I thought it'd be an airborne ranger.
With the computer guy, we only let Asians handle it in the Navy.
It's a DEI
Does
hire.
it show, what is that video at the bottom? Why the U.S. military is investing billions in
10-minute
directed
video.
energy?
And it's
Well,
not
yeah.
right there.
I guarantee they're
That's
doing
cool.
it because they know how to do it. But by the time they're telling you they're investing billions, they probably already invested billions.
Sure.
They probably figure out
There was a video. It's not.
video claiming. Hold on.
There it
claiming
is.
to show a directed energy weapon is actually an edited clip of an explosion in Russia.
That's not what I was trying to pull up.
Man, this stuff is.
There was a video of what looked like a laser coming out of the sky.
Yeah, I saw that.
And like during a storm or
Somebody
something like
explained that's cell phone video cameras like glitching under the intense exposure of like a lightning bolt. Like that's something that light flashes and it creates like a distortion in some cell phones. I don't know if that's true though. That was just
So it's a
explanation
natural.
that someone had.
It's a natural thing. It's not.
What'd that look like? Show that again.
I don't know what I was even looking at. That's
That lady, that video that you just showed.
No, I know, but I'm trying to. I don't know what the hell they're showing because I can't hear the sound. It's showing all sorts of stuff. They're talking about.
Whoa.
Just images that were going viral during it. Some of them are real, some of them are not.
Look at her smiling.
See, like right there, for instance, pause.
That's a controlled burn at a Canton refinery in Ohio.
And because of that light going to the sky,
Right.
someone thinks it's a laser.
Everybody thinks it's
Just
a
a
laser.
rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one.
Oh, that's
What is that
cool.
one?
SpaceX launch.
Oh, that's interesting that people are doing that. But that's people. Some people are out of their fucking minds.
There's a thing that happened though on Twitter too. I feel like this doesn't get talked about sometimes. People are trying to get engagement money because if you build up an account that can get engagement, doesn't matter if it's good engagement, bad engagement. You just got to get the numbers. You can start getting revenue. So people are reposting real old viral videos, confusing people with shit posts like this,
right.
just to build up the 5 million views.
So
of
But here's
liars.
the real conspiracy about the fires. Like they haven't done any rebuilding. Those people, they weren't allowed to have insurance inspectors go in there. I don't know if they can now. That people still had to pay their mortgage on those things.
Oh, jeez.
And the thing is, it's like if you're getting to this point where you don't have anything and you can't rebuild your house and you're fucked, and then they come along and offer you a payment or something, or you get foreclosed on because you haven't paid your mortgage, and then the banks own it. And then whoever the fuck is the developer owns it. And then whatever they want to do for the better good of Maui, they build there. And then these people lose everything. This is what's really scary about it. It's because like the way it's being handled is not like you're handling victims of a natural disaster that's horrific and took more lives than any wildfire in the history of this country. You're doing it like you are trying to figure out a way to take that from those people. You're not doing it like you're trying to support those people and build it back. You're doing it like if you know what's really going on. You're not asking for financial aid for these people to deal with their mortgages, and you're not asking for aid from the government in one of those giant Ukraine bills. It would take $5 billion, right? Wasn't that what the money was? $5 billion to rebuild all those houses? That's a drop in the bucket to what they're spending in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And there's no consideration at all to do something for these fucking people. That seems like you don't want to do anything.
They declared an emergency. I know when it happened, like a federal, like that usually means they can activate all federal funds. And
Bro, those people got a one-time payment of $700.
Jesus
that's
Christ.
an outrage.
One-time payment.
Didn't we get more for stimulus checks?
Yeah.
That's an outrage. Then.
Yeah.
Dude, well, fucking FEMA, when Hurricane Katrina hit, I went down to help like clean up and rebuild homes and stuff, and they sent us to Foley, Alabama, because they still didn't get relief from Hurricane Ivan like years prior.
Wow.
So there were still homes with roofs blown off from Hurricane Ivan.
Jeez.
So did they tell them we're going to send down some high school firemen? Don't hang up the phone. We're sending some kids.
Don't let them go to your strip club.
They're not popular in high school, but they want to be firemen. They have all the weekend open. They don't have dates or friends.
Hello, fellas, I'm here to help.
Hi. Anybody got a shovel for me?
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
That's amazing.
JRE number 1266. He suggests the world may already be splitting into parallel versions of truth, and most people don't even notice.
I feel like we're at this cusp of something very strange happening. Like we're in the middle of it right now, but we're at the cusp of something very strange, where all it would take is one massive world event, one to completely remap how we view each other and how we view things. It's very disconcerting to me.
I mean, it feels like without that one big world event, we're not that far away from that right now.
Right.
There are parallel universes right now that exist on things that you would have thought everyone can accept as a basic fact.
Like what?
You know,
I mean, Syria.
Yeah.
You know, the white helmets. There are some fairly serious people saying the white helmets are, you know, some kind of media front for Al Qaeda or Al Nusra.
Would you explain the white helmets for people?
So when there's a bombing and a building collapses, they go in and drag people out and get them medical attention as quick as possible.
And people think that they're somehow or another involved in it. They're a front.
Yeah, and the footage is faked in order to drum up sympathy for the rebel-held areas. I mean, I've heard, you know, serious people say that.
Serious people.
Yeah, not loons on Facebook. I've heard, you know,
like journalists or
yeah. I mean, Seymour Hersh, I think, has walked it back a little bit since, but he said that in the early days.
Why do you think he believed it?
I read a really interesting article about him just a few days ago. Where was it? I forget what it was. It was, you know, the not expose, but a really good look at him. And I think he's just spent his career believing rightly that the government lies about all kinds of things, and that's got him into a point where he thinks, well, they always lie, no matter what. It's happened to a lot of journalists. Robert Fisk, Seymour Hersh, Martha Gellhorn, I mean, one of my favorite war correspondents of all time. I reread some of her stuff recently, and the first batch of war reporting she did, I think, is the best war reporting I've ever read. Spanish Civil War, Vietnam, and then she spent 25 years writing novels, and then later on wrote about, I believe it was the Yom Kippur War, and was denying that massacres had happened and saying, you know, oh, Arabs lie, they always lie, there was no massacre. And we now know there was a massacre, or there were massacres in the aftermath of these wars. So I don't know what happens. I mean, maybe if you just do this for too long, you just become so cynical that you're open to these things. But I'm amazed that Seymour Hersh is open to that idea.
When the very people that are calling it, the very people that have boots on the ground and that are in these war zones and calling these things, when they become cynical and they become jaded, that's when it gets really, really sketchy. And we rely so heavily on people like you. Like I'm not going over there. Yeah. You know, Jamie's not going over there. Look at him. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and you wouldn't be able to really get, like, I know people that have gone to Venezuela and they come back and they go, I don't know what the fuck is going on over there. I don't know who to believe. I don't understand it. Venezuela is a very strange one. And I get messages all the time. And, you know, I've had Abby Martin who goes over there and she has one take on it. And I have other people that I talk to that have a different take on it. And I do not know. I don't know who to believe. And I think you'd have to go over there and you'd have to spend a lot of time to try to figure this out. And it would have to be the entire focus of your life to really try to parse it out.
I think that's true of a lot of conflicts. I mean, you know, one of the drawbacks of doing what I do is I'm covering 7 or 8 things at once. So I feel like I'm not expert enough in even Afghanistan, where I've covered that more than any other. But Venezuela is an interesting one because there's such a left-right divide on that. And if you support the opposition, then you find yourself alongside John Bolton and Donald Trump, which means that a lot of people are going to automatically attack you.
Right. Automatically. Yeah. Even if it's correct.
And I think it's, you know, we can say without a doubt that Maduro has destroyed the economy there. Maduro has imprisoned, beaten, killed journalists. There is a movement there that do want genuine elections. But some people will say, well, just because George Bush in another area or John Bolton in this era support the opposition, therefore the opposition must be illegitimate and the information coming out must be false. And I wish people did rely on people who actually went there, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels like they rely on the guy behind the glass desk on the news with the loud opinion rather than the people who are actually there.
Well, we still have this idea in our head that the person who's reading the news is the authority. You know, that Don Lemon has the inside scoop or whoever it is, you know.
And I think it used to be that those guys would spend 20 or 30 years traveling and then they'd get the cushy job behind the glass desk in the studio. Now it seems like you can go straight to the cushy job behind the glass desk. You know?
Well, we just need someone who's relatable, who can read a teleprompter, you know, who fits the profile that they're looking for, whether it's Fox News or CNN, you know.
And also the information is there. You know, there are fantastic documentaries, articles being written about all of these conflicts.
Right.
People aren't reading them.
Well, with something like Venezuela, the real problem is you have 2 sides. You have 2 different versions of what's happening, and it's if you're not educated in that country and you don't understand their politics, it's very difficult to figure out who's telling the truth.
Yeah, same with Syria.
Yeah.